Hey, athletes, we are looking at ordering decimals this week, and this should be pretty okay for your brains. I think the biggest thing is just making sure that we know which way we're being asked to order them. So, what I would do is I would suggest that we go ahead and pick one of our words to highlight, like least or greatest, so we know what we're being asked to do to help us keep our focus, right? Because our brain loves to take shortcuts. Once I do that, I have some options. Now, that I'm going to tell you to balance your decimals. So the first thing that I would suggest is making sure that they all have the same amount of digits. And then at that point, if it makes sense for you to stack them, absolutely stack them, do them in whatever way works best for you. For this first set, I'm doing least to greatest. So I have 3, 4, and 1, right? All of my ones places are the same. So I'm going to put these as 1, 2, and 3, right? Next one, I'm asked to do greatest to least. I add my zeros to make them balance. I have 7, 7, 6. I'm asked to do greatest first, so I need to find it. 0, 4. So my greatest is 0.747. 0.7. Oh, I just cleared my screen. That's a bummer. So we had 0.747, 0.7, and then 0.637. Or if we read these correctly in decimals, it's 747 thousandths, 7 tenths, 637 thousandths. This one, again, I'm being asked to do greatest to least. So I have a 7, a 0, and a 2. I don't have to look any further. My 7 is going to be the largest. My 2 is my middle. And my 0 is last. This one I'm asked to do least to greatest. I have a 0, a 3, and a 4. Balance. My smallest is going to be my 0. My middle is going to be my 3. And my largest is going to be my 4. This one's actually already in order for you. You might have noticed. Least to greatest, I have an 8, a 4, and a 2, of course, adding my zeros. So my smallest is going to be my 2, followed by my 4, and then my 8. This one is greatest to least. Balance them. I have a 4, a 1, and an 8. So my greatest is going to be my 8, followed by my 4, and then my 1. That's the end of page 1. If you have any questions, please bring them with you to class. If you're ready for your next page, hang tight because here it comes. We are continuing to order decimals. First thing I suggest you do before balancing is that you know what you're being asked to do. You can pick one of your words to highlight, or you can label them as you're going. So for this one, I'm doing least to greatest. I balance my decimals. I have an 8, a 6, and a 0. So my smallest is my 0, followed by my 6, and then my 8. Next one, I'm being asked to do greatest to least. Balance. I have a 1, an 8, and a 2. My greatest is my 8, followed by my 2, and my 1. This one I'm being asked greatest to least. Balance. 6, 9, 2. My greatest is my 9, followed by my 6, and then my 2. Next one, least to greatest. Balance. 4, 8, 3. Least is my 3, followed by my 4, followed by my 8. Last two, least to greatest. This one's greatest to least. I have an 8, a 4, and a 3. Make sure they're balanced. My least would be my 3, followed by my 4, and then my 8. This one is greatest to least. Balance. I have a 0, a 9, and a 2. Greatest is going to be my 9, followed by my 2, followed by my 5. That's the end of page 2. If you have any questions, please bring them with you to class. If you are ready for your next page, hang tight because here we go. Again, we are ordering. Go ahead and go through and make sure that you know what you're being asked. If it's greatest to least or least to greatest, you could fill it in like I do, but that is not the only way to do it. Use whatever strategy works best for you. Once I do that, of course, I'm going to make sure that they are balanced. You're probably sick of that word at this point. Oh, I cleared it again. We were on page 3. All right. So I make them balanced and hopefully it stops clearing out my page because that is rude, dude. All right. I want least to greatest. So I have a 3, an 8, and a 3. I need to go add another digit. I have an 8 and a 9. So my least is going to be my 384. My middle is my 39. And my last is my 8. Greatest to least, I have a 6, a 9, and a 2. Balance them. My biggest, my greatest is going to be my 9, followed by my 6, followed by my 2. Greatest to least, balance. I have 9, 9, 8. I have to go add another digit. 0, 4. See why that balance was important. My greatest is 0, 9, 4, 2. My second is 0, 9. My last is 0, 82. If we were to read these correctly, 942 thousandths, 9 tenths, 82 hundredths. Least to greatest, balance, 7, 2, 2. Go add another digit, 9, 0. My smallest is 0.2. My second is 0.29. My last is 0.70. So 2 tenths, 29 hundredths, 70 hundredths. Last set for these, I'm doing least to greatest. Balance, 6, 4, 5. So my smallest is my 4. Even though that one had the most digits, it did not make it the largest, right? And we added these 2 zeros, that made us able to see the difference. So 498 thousandths, 500 thousandths, 670 thousandths. Last one on this page, greatest to least. I have a 2, a 1, and a 4. Balance. My greatest is going to be my 4, followed by my 2, and then my 1. I would read this as 453 thousandths, 246 thousandths, and 11 hundredths. If you have any questions about these, please bring them with you to class. If you're ready for page 4, hang tight, because here we go. I go through, you know, at this point, the way that I think them through. Again, not the only way. It's just the way that my brain works. But the cool thing about math is that everyone's brain works differently. So if you have a different strategy, absolutely use what works best for you. All right, doing the least. Balance, 9, 3, 6. 3, 6, 9. 3 tenths, 66 hundredths, 934 thousandths. Balance. Greatest to least, 4, 9, 6. 9, 6, 4. 9 tenths, 616 thousandths, 4 tenths. Greatest to least, balance. 3, 3, 7. Go out another place. 0, 1. Greatest is my 7, followed by my 3, 1, and my 3. 7 tenths, 315 thousandths, 3 tenths. Least to greatest, balance. 7, 4, 9. Smallest is my 4, followed by my 7, followed by my 9. 465 thousandths, 7 tenths, 985 thousandths. Last line on these, balanced. 4, 3, 9. Looking for the least is my 3 tenths, 42 hundredths, 96 hundredths. Last one, greatest to least, I have 4, 2, 8. My greatest is 847 thousandths, 447 thousandths, and 29 hundredths. That's the end of page 4. If you have any questions, please bring them with you to class. If you're ready for your final page, hang tight, because here it goes. Page 5. I don't even need to tell you my strategies at this point. you already know because you've watched me do it on all of the other pages. So I'm going to get myself set up in the way that I prefer. You set yourself in the way that you prefer. And here we go. Least, I have a 5, I have a 4, I have a 7. The least is going to be 42 hundredths, 585 thousandths, 72 hundredths. I have a 1, a 7, and a 2. Greatest first, 7 tenths, 21 hundredths, 17 hundredths. I have a 5, a 4, and a 7. 4, oh, I'm doing these backwards. I need greatest first. So I have 756 thousandths, 58 hundredths, 4 tenths, least to greatest, 0, 9, 7, 44 thousandths, 74 hundredths, 98 hundredths. Least to greatest, I have a 4, a 2, and a 7. Least is 229 thousandths, 48 hundredths, 7 tenths. Greatest to least, I have a 2, a 1, and a 7. Greatest is 7 tenths, 2 tenths, 109 thousandths. If you have any questions on these, please bring them with you to class. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend, Mathletes.